Okay, good day everyone. George here again. Um, Welcome to Module 2 of Python Fundamentals. I'm so excited we're in Module 2 right now, okay, because this is where we start getting our hands dirty. Module 2 and Module 3. Now, in the last video, we made a shift from the IDE that we'll be using, which is idle. We made a shift from that IDE down to the Anaconda distribution. In the last video, we installed the Anaconda distribution. I showed us how to install and then fire up the Anaconda distribution. Okay, I told us the Anaconda distribution basically comes with three IDEs. There might be more, but the ones I've made use of in the Anaconda distribution are Spider, Jupyter Notebook, and Jupyter Lab. Okay, so for this series we are going to be working with Jupyter Notebook. I think along the line I'll switch to Jupyter Lab so that you see how it works. Okay, now this module is about data types. We are going to be discussing about different data types. Okay, now there are two classes when it comes to data types. We have the primitive data types and then we have the non-primitive data types. So in this video, we are going to be looking at primitive data types. Now, what are primitive data types? Primitive data types are simply those data types that are not scalable. That means they can hold just one value. Integer is a primitive data type. Floats, Boolean, the complex data type, and also what's it called? String. These are all primitive data types. And one thing you have to notice is that primitive data types are stored by value. Okay, later on I'm going to discuss more about storage by value and storage by reference. But you should know that primitive data types are stored by value. Okay, so let's just move down to the IDE and then I'll show you how we go about this. Now, in the last video I showed you how to fire up the IDE. Now, once you fire up the IDE, you're going to encounter something like this, where you have your file system. Now, you can navigate to wherever you have your folder saved. In my own case, I have my folder saved somewhere deep. So I'll move down to desktop, every YouTube, where is it? YouTube contents. And I have that to be in Module 2 because we're in Module 2. Now this is the first video we have in Module 2, so obviously it's going to be our first file in Module 2. Now, in this video I'm still going to show us a bit about the Jupyter Notebook, this Jupyter Notebook we are working with. If you want to rename the file, you move down to, just click on this on title, okay? Click on title, then you give the file a name. So I'm going to call it primitive data types. Okay, I have it as primitive data types. Now, what are the primitive data types we have? Using most of them, especially that of the integer and the floats. So for us to figure out these data types, I can just go ahead and use a function called type. It's an operator and it's also a function. So if I look for the type of 12, it's telling me that the type of 12 is int. Okay, now that's because 12 is a number without a decimal part. Any number you have without decimal part is seen as an integer. If I ask for the type of 12.9, that's going to be floats because we have a decimal part there. If I have the type of 2, that's going to be Boolean. I check for the type of false, that's going to be bool. If I check for the type of none, that's also going to be non-type. Okay, non-type is also a primitive data type. We also have, if I want to check the type of a complex number is 3 plus, let's say, 2j. Once you have j attached to a number, it's automatically seen as a complex number. So the type of 3 plus 2j, that's complex. I can also check the type of a string. Let's say my name, Smith. and that's going to be stl. So all of these I have here are what you call primitive data types. Okay, they are primitive data types again because they are stored by value, and for the fact that they are stored by value, they are generally seen as immutable data types. It means once you've declared them, you've initialized them, that is it. The only way you can change their values is by reassigning it to something else or to themselves. In that kind of situation, you're no longer talking about that value. You've made reference to something else entirely. Okay. Now, when I give you the distinction between when I more like compare between these data types and then the other data types we are going to be discussing about, like the lists, the tuples, the dictionary, then you're going to see the major difference between these data types and the others, the difference between them. Okay, so these are the base data types we have: primitive, we have integer, we have float, we have bool. Take note that bool, true, false, and none, they all start with capital letter. Okay, these are the only the three what's it called keywords or reserved words in Python that starts with capital letter. The rest they don't start with capital letter. Okay, so that being said, and that's all we have for this video. If you have any question, any suggestion, you can go ahead and put it down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.